Now, Syrian rebels claim they killed 150 soldiers in a brazen attack on a military base just outside the capital Damascus earlier this week. They spent weeks digging a tunnel under the main building before planting explosives underneath. The base in Harasta, to the northeast of Damascus, is one of the biggest military complexes near the capital. The area has been under siege by rebel fighters in recent weeks from neighbouring suburbs to the south. Our international editor, Lindsay Hilson, is in Damascus, where the funeral of one victim was held this afternoon. Lindsay.
Krishnan, I've just been listening to the sound of outgoing mortars from the government side targeting the rebel-held suburbs. The government are making advances, but what we discovered today is that the rebels are still capable of attacking military bases and having an impact.
Funeral rites for a Christian army officer. Major General Joseph Fadlallah Daklala went to work as usual last Sunday at the military vehicle depot in Harasta, north of Damascus. Today they draped his coffin in the Syrian flag. He was amongst up to 150 Syrian soldiers, including senior officers, killed in one of the most deadly rebel attacks since the conflict began.
He was doing his duty. He was the best in the Syrian army at fixing heavy vehicles and tanks. 4 days ago, the terrorists came and placed bombs underneath the building he was in and destroyed it. He died alongside his colleagues and innocent soldiers defending the nation.
A rebel brigade, shield of the capital, say they spent 6 months digging a 300-metre tunnel under the complex, then picked their moment. A government official told us only 22 had been killed, but this was a huge blast. Rebel snipers made it hard for the army to clear the area. They say the complex held the biggest military vehicle maintenance centre in Syria, as well as a prison and listening post. Government forces responded with airstrikes on neighbouring rebel-held suburbs. Harasta was a boost for the rebels after weeks of government advances. Civilians loaded their belongings onto trucks and fled. They carried Major General Daklala into the cemetery opposite the church. Christians largely support President Bashar al-Assad, fearing the increasingly powerful Islamist jihadi groups in the opposition. The government has said little about Harasta, but people here know what happened and expect more such attacks in the months to come.
One of the reasons that the rebels have had so few successes like that recently is because they're disunited. They've been fighting each other. But today, 6 rebel groups announced that they were uniting under what they're calling the Islamic Front. Now, this is really important. First, these are not the jihadis allied with al-Qaeda, but nor are they the more secular groups allied with the Free Syrian Army that the West support. They are supported by Saudi Arabia and other important individuals in the Gulf. If they manage to do it, if they manage to stick together, they will become the biggest and the most significant rebel front in this war. That could make a difference to the way the conflict is going.
Thanks, Lindsay.